Hello! So I have just been going back through my journals and for a combination of reasons. Back when I first started my journey of faith, I remember Annette giving me the advice to keep a journal because if you write in it prayerfully, you can really see where God has answered prayers, and you can just go back and see. Say if you're having a particularly tough time, you can look back in your journal of late and kind of see, do you know what, I've not been spending as much time with God, or I've been doing this, and back then when I felt great, I was actually doing that. So it's been a real amazing tool, especially throughout the lockdown period. Like, it's really helped me journaling. And also words of encouragement, like you look back and can find them. But I've also been going through them recently because there was a sermon that Holly Furtick of Elevation Church gave about peace markers, and that when we are in the storms of life, that we can look back and kind of almost have a list of, do you know what? The dog starts barking. Do you know what, when I've been in hard times before, God has delivered in this way, and just having a list of those times that when we feel like, God, where are you? We've got something to reference back to say, okay, God, I know you've pulled through before, and like, forgive my unbelief. And so I'm going through and writing my list of peace markers, and I have just come across an entry from the 10th of January 2020. So this is pre-COVID in my world. And I'd been for a time of prayer the night before. And first of all, which is amazing, there was a word of encouragement for me about an alternative service. And then the notes on the end, I've just got dark worship informal. I think it was in February, we held the Awakening service. So that was just amazing to me, that had been a word of encouragement, and then it came into fruition literally a month later. And boy, did we need that. We didn't know we needed that at that point, but we were about to go into lockdown and things were about to get weird and scary in the world. So that was amazing. But the second words of encouragement, it was 2 songs. So one was Surrounded, Fight My Battles, that song. And then the second one was Raise a Hallelujah. And for a long time, I've loved to write poetry. And clearly I was inspired by these songs and I wrote a poem. And again, this was in January, before anything had happened to do with COVID. And again, I just feel like this was such a word for what we were about to enter into. And God was just preparing us long before we knew that we needed preparing. And it's just amazing how he does that. And I think that what that's speaking to me now is that people who may be going through a hard time can rest assured that God is already going before you. So I'm just going to read the poem now. Down on our knees, heavy heart, shattered soul. Jesus, where are you? Trying to fix things, heal things, control things, make everything okay. It's exhausting. Jesus, where are you now? Surrounded by mountains, battles, lost in the valley, so consumed in self, trying to find a way. Heavy heart, shattered soul. Jesus, can you hear me? Feeling lost, surrounded. I can't do this anymore. Jesus, please take the wheel. And there he steps in. There his grace appears. There his love becomes all-consuming. There we can give up the fight. A peace, a knowing, a trust that can only come from Jesus. Surrounded once more, but now surrounded by you. Lifting our hearts, eyes and minds in praise for our King, trusting faithfully in things unseen. Raising a hallelujah for all he has done and all he will do next. So sing a little louder. Be surrounded in the love of our King, because this is how we fight our battles. And I just emphasise the fact that this was written weeks before COVID started to spread across the globe, and I'm just so encouraged to just be reminded by God how He is always going before us, and how just through inspiring us in ways that we don't even realise are from God. I just thought I was writing a poem, but that is so inspired by God and a message for what we were about to enter into. So I just pray that anyone listening to this will also be encouraged by that, and also encourage anyone to keep a journal. I, from the beginning of lockdown, have kept a journal every day. It's become part of my time with God. I'll read the Bible and journal, and it's just been like an anchor for me, and almost that accountability as well. But you don't even have to do it that much. It can be much more infrequent than that, even if you wanted to do like a weekly check-in of what worked, what didn't work, or just a prayerful journal whenever you feel called to. But I can't encourage it enough, because it has been such a source of reminders from God for things that He's doing, for things that He's working on, prayers that have been answered, and I forgot they were once prayers. And I look back now and I see all the prayers I had for my husband, and now the fiance I have in Frank. It's just an incredible reminder. So yes, I encourage everyone to start journaling, but just pray that you know in your heart that whatever you are going through right now, God has already gone before you. God has already made a way for you. So just take comfort in that today.